Peace and grace to you, beloved. You are not here by accident. This message did not find you by coincidence. You've been guided, drawn by something deeper than curiosity. Heaven has whispered, and your soul responded. That's why you're here. Pause and breathe. You've felt something lately. A tug in your spirit, a quiet ache that has no words, as if someone is calling your name from a place you cannot see, but can surely feel. That sensation isn't random. It's not imagination. It's spiritual. Heaven is speaking to you now, directly, tenderly, with full awareness of your heart's weight. What you're about to hear carries the imprint of divine timing and sacred truth. This is not for your mind only, it's for your spirit. What was once unclear is about to come into focus. What you thought was over may only be in transition. Someone's soul is still echoing your name, and heaven is allowing you to hear it. If your heart is open, if your spirit is listening, then type this in the comments right now. I receive. Let this be your moment of alignment. Angels are speaking a truth they cannot keep hidden any longer. They regret letting you go. There was a separation, yes, a divine silence, a holy distance. But now the heavens are revealing what your soul already knew. Their soul still calls for you. There is a longing that has never died, a connection that refused to be severed by time, distance, or silence. You may have questioned your worth, doubted your role, or tried to silence your heart's pull, but the truth was always alive in the spirit. The one you are thinking of. They feel it too. They tried to turn away, but their angels have not let them forget. Your voice echoes in their dreams. Your presence hovers in their atmosphere. And now, heaven is releasing the truth. They miss you. They remember. And more than that, they regret. This is not about human pride. This is about divine awareness. Your absence did something to them. It awakened them. It shook them. And now, the spiritual realm is stirring. Let that settle in your spirit, because what was once hidden is now being revealed. Beloved, the ache you've been carrying didn't begin yesterday. There was a shift, sudden for the eye, but slow in the spirit. You felt it like a cold wind between two souls that once burned with warmth. One day you were known, the next forgotten, or so it seemed. You questioned everything. You asked God why someone so deeply woven into your soul would suddenly vanish. Was it something you did? Was it punishment? Was it all a lie? But heaven says no. This wasn't rejection. It was redirection. This wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Because when the wrong version of someone holds your heart, heaven steps in to protect what is sacred. You didn't lose them out of failure. You were separated so both of you could become whole. Yes, they may have walked away, but your Father in heaven walked with you. Every tear you cried was caught. Every sleepless night was sacred. And now you're being told, it was necessary. Remember these words from Isaiah. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways. Let that truth find rest in your spirit. Heaven never subtracts without a greater plan to multiply. And what felt like a loss was actually a divine rearrangement. Beloved, you didn't lose them. Heaven cleared the path. There were things in the spirit that your natural eyes could not see. Unspoken wounds, hidden pride, unfinished healing. And so, God stepped in, not to destroy, but to design. Sometimes the most painful endings are actually spiritual beginnings in disguise. You were being pulled out of cycles. pulled away from soul ties that drained, pulled from patterns that would have hindered your purpose. God didn't forget your heart, He protected it. He saw where it was heading, and in His mercy, He paused the story, so He could rewrite it with covenant. Pause and breathe. That silence you endured wasn't emptiness. It was heaven making room. Room for growth. Room for awakening. Room for divine timing. Because when it's time again, it will be aligned. Not half-hearted. Not confused. Not broken. But healed. Whole. And heaven approved. Don't mourn what heaven has merely paused. Because God is still orchestrating. The divine doesn't shout. It whispers. And lately you've been hearing things, feeling things, sensing that something is shifting. These aren't coincidences. These are confirmations. Have you noticed their name appearing more often? Heard a song you used to share? Felt a pull to pray for them without knowing why? Or woken from dreams so vivid, it felt like they had never left? Beloved, these are not accidents. These are alignments. Heaven is placing signs all around you, not to tease your heart, but to prepare it. Because what is being realigned must first be reawakened. You may also feel the urge to go to certain places, revisit moments, photos, or memories. That's not nostalgia. That's the Spirit making space for reconciliation. Sometimes divine timing feels like discomfort, before it feels like destiny. Remember this promise from Psalm. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and He delighteth in His way. Nothing is random. This moment is not random. This message is not random. And the signs you've been sensing? They're heaven's breadcrumbs leading you back to alignment. Let that truth sink in. You've had quiet moments where you questioned everything, not just them, but yourself. You wondered if you were too much, too sensitive, too intense, too broken to be chosen. But beloved, hear this now. You are not too much. You are not too late. You are not forgotten. Heaven sees every part of you, the tender and the tough. You've carried a heart that still believes in love even after it's been wounded. You've prayed even when it felt like God was silent. You've stayed open even when others closed off. And that is strength in its purest, most spiritual form. There is nothing wrong with your depth. There is nothing wrong with the way you love. It's not that you're too much. It's that others weren't ready for the fullness of who you are. Let these words from Romans rest in your chest. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. You are not here to beg for love. You are here to align with it. Heaven is not punishing you. Heaven is preserving you. Pause and breathe. Let that truth become your comfort. There is a soul, woven by the same hands that formed yours. Their journey may have looked different. Their choices may have pulled them away. But in the secret place, God has been working on them, just as He's been working on you. They are not perfect, but they are purposed. They've walked through fire, not just for their growth, but to be refined for the kind of love you carry. Because the love you give is not surface level. It's sacred. And heaven will not allow that kind of love to be wasted on someone unprepared. This person, they've had their own nights of tears. They've asked God why they walked away. They've whispered your name in silence. They've carried the weight of the decision they once made. But heaven is not done with them, and heaven has not forgotten the connection. They're being called back, not just to you, but to who they were always meant to be. Let your heart soften for a moment. They are healing too, and somewhere in their spirit, they already know. You are the promise. Not a fantasy, not a fix, but a covenant. Heaven is preparing both of you for something holy. There will come a moment, not loud, not dramatic, but deeply sacred. A moment when your eyes meet again, whether in person or in spirit, and the noise of the world fades. They'll know, not because of logic, not because of pressure, but because their soul will whisper, "It's them." You won't need to convince. You won't need to perform. Peace will speak louder than pain ever did. There will be no panic in their presence. Only clarity, only calm, only a deep spiritual exhale that says, "This feels like home." And even if they try to deny it, even if their mind wrestles with fear, their spirit will remember. It's been calling for you. It's been aching in the quiet for what was once lost. Because love ordained by heaven never truly disappears. It simply waits for divine timing. Let these words anchor you from Philippians 4 verse 7. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Peace is the signal. Peace is the confirmation. And when they feel it, they will know. You are not forgotten. You are recognized, soul to soul. Let's shift this from hearing to declaring. There is power in what you speak. There is movement in what you release. So right now, say this out loud with faith. I am ready for what heaven has prepared for me. Say it again, slower this time. I am ready for what heaven has prepared for me. Now type it in the comments and seal it in the spirit. Your words are not just sound, they are surrender. When you declare, you align. When you speak, you stir the atmosphere. You're not begging, you're birthing. Heaven responds to faith in motion. And this simple declaration is not small, it's sacred. Let this be your first step forward. The atmosphere is shifting, not someday, now. This isn't just a message you're hearing. This is movement you're entering. The realignment is not waiting for a perfect day. It has already begun. You are not stuck. You are not abandoned. You are being carried by grace into a divine appointment that was written before time began. Heaven is not passive. Heaven is precise. Timelines are being rearranged. Hearts are being softened. Old wounds are being closed with sacred thread. What once looked like rejection is now being rewritten as redirection. Even now, the person your soul remembers is sensing something. A stirring, a restlessness, an ache they can't explain. That's not coincidence. That's divine collision. They don't know it yet, but their spirit is moving back into alignment with yours. You are not watching from the outside. You are walking through the center of heaven's design. Let this truth from Isaiah rise in your spirit. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? You're not waiting any more. You're walking in it. Breathe that in, and keep going forward. You may have cried over them, but beloved, they cried too. Not every tear was seen. Not every prayer was spoken out loud. But heaven heard it all. They didn't walk away without feeling the weight of it. They didn't let you go without something in their soul tearing a little. They've tried to fill the silence, with distraction, with noise, with other people. But nothing settled their spirit, because the absence of your presence became a presence of its own. They tried to convince themselves it was the right decision. But the more they moved forward, the more they looked back. Not with guilt, but with longing. They've whispered to God in the late hours. They've said, if this was really love, Why does it still echo in me? Because it was. And it still is. They didn't just lose a person. They lost a part of their calling, a piece of peace, a mirror of their soul. But God, in His mercy, doesn't just restore what was lost. He redeems it in a better form. They've been in a refining fire. And that fire wasn't punishment. It was preparation. You're not the only one who's been waiting. They've been hoping, even if silently, that somehow heaven would bring them back to what their soul still remembers. When they return, or when heaven reconnects your paths, it may not look the way you imagined, come dressed in your expectations. They may not sound like the version of them you once knew. But don't let appearances confuse your spirit, because heaven doesn't wrap destiny in predictable packaging. It conceals glory in the ordinary. And sometimes, love arrives looking like something you would have overlooked before healing happened. Let this truth from 1 Samuel settle deep in your heart. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. You may have had a type, but now you're being aligned with truth. Their humility will speak louder than their style. Their growth will echo louder than their charisma. Don't look for the person your pain wanted. Look for the one your purpose prayed for. Because what's returning may surprise you, but your spirit will recognize them, not by sight, but by knowing. This reconnection, it's not just about romance. It's about redemption. It's about restoration. It's about what heaven wants to birth through your union. You were never just meant to love each other. You were meant to build together, to heal generations, to carry light into places that have only known shadows. There is a legacy tied to your union, a divine assignment, a call that only activates when two healed souls come back into alignment, not just as lovers, but as partners in divine purpose. The love between you will be the soil, but the fruit that will feed others. This isn't fantasy. This is covenant. Let this rise within you from Ephesians. Now unto him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. God didn't just ordain this connection for comfort. He ordained it for impact. You will speak differently. You will serve differently. You will live differently, not just in love, but in mission. Because when heaven brings two souls back together, it's never just for them. It's for everything and everyone their union is called to touch. Let's seal this in faith, not just as a hope, but as a prophecy in motion. Say this out loud with your hand on your heart. I am prepared and expecting heaven's alignment. Say it again, slowly. Let it echo in the spaces where fear used to live. I am prepared and expecting heaven's alignment. Now, go to the comments and type it. Let your fingers become a testimony. Let your words become an altar. When you declare with boldness, heaven moves with precision. You are not just waiting. You are welcoming. You are not just hoping. You are partnering. Beloved, this declaration is not just words. It is warfare. It is surrender. It is agreement. You are coming into alignment with heaven's timeline, not man's. Say it again if you feel resistance. Prepared and expecting. Because the moment you release it, you give heaven permission to deliver what's already written in your destiny. Beloved, this is already moving toward you. Not in fantasy, in faith. You're not being teased by heaven. You're being trusted by it. This isn't a test of your worth. It's a confirmation of your readiness. Every delay was a layer of preparation. Every tear watered the soil for something sacred to bloom. The one who once let you go, they now feel the call of your spirit again, not because you chased them, but because heaven whispered your name into their soul. You are not forgotten. You are foreseen. You are not waiting in vain. You are walking into fulfillment. Let this promise rest in your spirit from Isaiah 55 verse 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void. What has been spoken over you, what has been ordained for you, will manifest in its appointed time. Let this be your confirmation. Let this be your release. Let this be your peace.